Chapter 44. Fear. Oh wow. I'm really impressed and touched by that story, which has made me very happy. Although I only have a small part to play at the end of the story, I'm very happy that I have finally met her, I said and looked deep into Kaharu's eyes. Kiran, do you know how my story will unfold? Could you please tell me? I asked him. I thought he could shed some light and lighten my anxiety on the people I was going to meet. I think you should feel a bit more relaxed now. There's nothing to fear. From now on, only wonderful things will happen. You can stay here without making any plans because, actually, a plan has already been drawn up by you in advance. You don't need to worry about what you will eat tomorrow because you will always have food. Nobody owns and clings onto any possession here. You don't need to worry about where to sleep tomorrow because you can knock on any door at any time, and the owner will welcome you. You can stay for as long as you want and the owner will always be willing to offer his hospitality. You also don't need to worry about what you will encounter tomorrow. You can trust that all that you're about to face will always happen logically for your own sake. Don't worry about your future here since feeling anxious doesn't help. Moreover, it doesn't align with our way of living. In your world, you've built your society with anxiety and fear. So the things that you are afraid of actually happen as a consequence. He brought up another issue. What does it mean? I asked. For instance, when you're afraid that you may not have enough food, you subconsciously establish boundaries for your arable area. That way, you consider it as yours and reserve the products for yourself. When you share them with someone, you'll expect a fair exchange. This fear has created a pattern in your society that divides people into those who have and those who don't have. If those who don't have want to possess something, they have to choose between two methods: find something that has an equal value to make an exchange, or seize it by exerting a stronger power. In the second case, those who are afraid to lose something would create a guarantee for what they own. As a result, a system of anti-violation was established, and laws and the keepers of justice came into existence. But then the keepers of justice became afraid that they wouldn't be able to deal with the violators of the laws. So they created tools called weapons that allowed them to exert even more power. Since the creation of weapons, every tribe has been trying to gain power over others. From that time on, weapons have been continuously developed and improved, and have now become more lethal. You let fear dominate your mind, originating from the smallest things like food even though there's enough food for everyone in the world. You let fear drive every part of your life, like marriage, work, education, government, and even topics that should be filled with love, like religion. You can trust that there is nothing to fight for in this world because everyone is ready to give everything, Kiran repeated. You mean everything? I asked, unconvinced. Yes. What if you own a precious object? Let's say, a diamond ring worth 1 million baht. And then one day, a stranger asks you for that ring. Will you give it to him? I asked. That's a challenging question. Before I answer, you have to know something. There are various mechanisms behind all forms of socialization, and one of them is the mechanism of love. The love that everyone in this society is releasing isn't normal love, but it's the highest level of love. You could compare it to the love that parents have for their children. Try to imagine what would happen if everyone would love each other that much. If a son asks for the ring that his father is wearing, do you think he will give it to him? On the other hand, If the person who wants the ring loves the owner of the ring, he would know that the ring means a lot to the owner. So would he still want to have it? Kieran looked at me. So, the answer to your question is that such a situation would never happen here because we all love each other. It's a matter of love again, I muttered. I was only talking about the mechanism of love, but there's also the topic of attitude towards objects that you consider precious. In your world, you attribute value to an object through its price, as it may be a rare item or a limited type of resource. We, on the other hand, don't value things based on price but on what it's worth for us. However, the value of a thing may not always be the same for every person or under every circumstance, Kieran added. How is that? I asked. For example, if you are traveling long distances without shoes, your feet will be badly swollen after walking a lot. In that situation, if you could choose between two things, a diamond ring or a pair of sandals, what would you choose? I would choose the diamond ring because I could then buy 1,000 pair of sandals for the value of a diamond ring, I replied, challenging his thought process and reasoning. I can understand why there are people who have such thinking because they are used to evaluating things based on how much they cost. Here, there is no such word as more expensive or cheaper. No one assesses the value of objects with that method. Their true value depends only on the purpose that they serve, Kieran concluded.